Tamar of Georgia, often referred to as Queen Tamar or Tamar the Great, was one of the most powerful and revered rulers in Georgian history. Her reign, from 1184 to 1213, marked the height of the Kingdom of Georgia's power and territorial extent. She is considered a national hero in Georgia, praised for her leadership, wisdom, and the flourishing of her kingdom during her rule. Queen Tamar's life and reign represent a combination of political astuteness, religious significance, and cultural prosperity that shaped the medieval Georgian world. Early life and background. Tamar was born around 1160 to King George III of Georgia and Queen Berdu Khan. As the daughter of the king, Tamar was born into the royal family during a time of relative instability. Her father, George III, ruled over a fragmented and sometimes politically volatile Georgia, with various nobles challenging the central authority. Although little is known about her early childhood, it is clear that she was educated in the courtly traditions of the time and was raised in an environment that emphasized both political and religious education. Tamar's mother, Queen Berdu Khan, was of Armenian descent, which added another layer of political and cultural influence in Tamar's upbringing. This dual heritage would later play a role in the diplomatic alliances and relationships Tamar would form during her reign. Ascension to the throne. In 1184, after the death of King George III, Tamar ascended to the throne of Georgia. Initially, she was a co ruler with her father's cousin, the nobleman and prince of the kingdom, David Soslan. This joint rule, however, was more of a formality, as Tamar, despite her youth, gradually took control of the kingdom's affairs. Tamar's reign was somewhat contested initially because of her gender. Medieval Georgia was a patriarchal society where a woman's ascension to the throne was not guaranteed or widely accepted. However, Tamar proved herself capable and resolute in the face of opposition. Her legitimacy was strengthened when, in 1185, she was crowned as the sole monarch of Georgia, thus marking the beginning of her independent reign. During the coronation, Tamar made a public declaration in which she emphasized her role as the anointed of God, aligning her reign with divine will and solidifying her position in the eyes of the people and the Church. Political and military achievements. Tamar's reign is primarily remembered for the political stability and military successes that marked the period. Under her leadership, Georgia experienced a golden age of territorial expansion and political consolidation. Her military campaigns were especially successful, as she effectively dealt with external threats and expanded the borders of her kingdom. One of Tamar's most significant achievements was her military campaigns against the Seljuks, a Turkic people who had previously posed a significant threat to Georgia. Tamar's forces, under her command, repelled invasions and gradually pushed back the Seljuk Turks. This enabled her to regain control over large territories that had been lost in the preceding centuries. Additionally, Tamar sought to strengthen Georgia's position in the South Caucasus by forging alliances with neighboring powers, including the Byzantine Empire, the Kingdom of Armenia, and the Kingdom of the Khwarezmian Empire. Through these alliances, Tamar was able to secure peace on multiple fronts and establish Georgia as a powerful regional player. Tamar's reign also saw an expansion into the west, where she solidified Georgian control over regions like Abkhazia, and parts of the Black Sea coast. These territorial expansions were not only military but also diplomatic, with Tamar's kingdom becoming a key player in the region's geopolitics. Religious influence and cultural flourishing. Tamar's reign was not only marked by military and political success but also by a remarkable flourishing of Georgian culture. She was a devout Christian and a patron of the Georgian Orthodox Church, which enjoyed a period of spiritual and material growth during her rule. She supported the construction and restoration of churches and monasteries throughout Georgia, including the famous Gelati Monastery, which became a center of learning and artistic production during her reign. Moreover, Tamar was a patron of the arts, particularly literature, and encouraged the flourishing of Georgian literature, philosophy, and music. It was under her rule that the famous epic poem The Knight in the Panther's Skin, also known as Vepkast Kayasani, by the poet Shota Rustaveli was written, which remains a cornerstone of Georgian literature to this day. The poem is not only a masterpiece of Georgian literature but also reflects the ideals of chivalry, honor, and the close relationship between the monarchy and the church. Personal life and legacy. Tamar's personal life is also of significant interest. She married twice during her reign. Her first marriage was to the nobleman Yuri of the House of Rurik, a Russian prince, though the marriage was not successful, and they separated. Her second marriage was to David Soslin, a powerful and respected general in her army, with whom she had a strong and supportive partnership. Their union solidified Tamar's political and military position, as Soslin played an instrumental role in her campaigns. Tamar's reign ended with her death in 1213. Her legacy, however, continued long after her passing. She is remembered as a symbol of strength, wisdom, and devotion to her country and faith. Her reign is often seen as the high point of medieval Georgia, and she is celebrated as a national heroine. Tamar is also remembered as one of the few female monarchs in history who successfully navigated the male-dominated political landscape of her time and left behind a legacy of prosperity and cultural renaissance. Tamar's name lives on in Georgian culture, and she is often referred to in hymns, literature, and historical accounts. In modern Georgia, she is celebrated as Tamar the Great, and her image continues to inspire both national pride and admiration. Conclusion. Tamar of Georgia remains one of the most influential rulers in medieval history. Her reign brought about a golden age for the Kingdom of Georgia, marked by military triumphs, territorial expansion, religious devotion, and cultural achievement. Queen Tamar's legacy is a testament to the power of leadership, wisdom, and vision. Her remarkable reign stands as an enduring symbol of the strength of women in history and the role of women in shaping the destiny of nations.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.